All right, so I was going to originally make this an Instagram reel, but I realized a little bit through, like a little bit halfway through the video, that this was going to be a little bit longer than I thought because of what I'm talking about. Now, I'm not talking about like a whole bunch of different things um, in this video or anything. I'm talking about one thing pretty much, but I could feel that as I was talking, it was going to go on, probably like to a second, like a two-parter. And I don't really want to do those type of things on Instagram Reels. So I was like, fuck it, why not just make it a YouTube video? Anyways, what I'm talking about is I just came back from the theater about like 30 minutes ago from seeing The Running Man, right? And so basically what I want to talk about is the ending of it and how I wouldn't say people are divided over it, but people are mostly like a little upset, and I'm going to get into that. But before I get into that, I do want to say that I personally did enjoy the movie the whole way through. I thought it was funny. I thought it had great elements, great themes that you can think over a lot, especially in this day and age. And I feel like just anybody could relate to the movie. Like any old regular person could relate to this movie and the themes that are being said, especially with the main character's dilemma and why he's doing the Running Man challenge and all that. I'm not gonna spoil it or anything. Well, I say that, but I'm gonna have to at one point, just the ending really. So, but so you can probably watch up until I get to that. I'll let you know. But anyways, like I was saying though, I feel like it's very relatable in a sense for people today and just in general. But yeah, I liked it. I thought it was funny. I thought it had great action scenes. I love the characters, the actors. I thought Glenn Powell was good as our main character Richard. There were some parts where I felt like his acting was kind of like iffy, and like there were some parts where I thought he was trying maybe a little bit too hard, especially with his characters like I don't know, kind of like macho man, I guess, demeanor. I don't mean to like say it like that in like a derogatory way, I guess, but like I don't know, it just felt like he was kind of like trying too hard in some parts. But I feel like as the movie progressed and at certain parts, I really did like some of his acting and some of the stuff he was doing. But I thought he was pretty good as Richard. I thought he did a pretty good job with that. I thought he carried himself well and all of that. So I thought that was pretty cool. But like I said, I enjoyed this movie very much. I was gonna say I can't believe it got not a really low score, but it got a lower score than I thought it was gonna be on Rotten Tomatoes. It got about I think like a 64% or something like that. I can't really remember, but yeah. But basically on to why I liked it, or not why I liked it first, but why people probably didn't like it. Okay, so to explain that, I'm going to have to spoil the movie a little bit. Not only the ending of the movie, but the ending of the book as well. Okay, so that's the spoiler warning right there. If you don't want to, get spoiled, you want to watch the movie for yourself, go ahead and skedaddle. If you don't care, stick around. Okay, so basically, in the ending of the book, our main character Richard flies the plane into the network building, like just intentionally, like committing suicide and killing who was ever in the building watching the show or whatever. So yeah, there's that. But in the movie, in the 2025 adaptation, because there's also an adaptation from a little while ago. I think was it 1984? I think somewhere in the 80s. I know Arnold Schwarzenegger is the main character in that movie, or he plays the main character. Excuse me. In the movie, the 2025 adaptation, Glenn Powell's character Richard gets offered to be the newest hunter on the next season of the Running Man show. I don't know how I forgot that, but just like the dude, what's his name? I forget his name, but the one who's always wearing a mask all the movie, all like the entire movie. If you go ahead and go see the movie, yeah. So he reveals that he got an offer as well. He was like, you think you're the only one who got offered, right? And of course, he took the offer. But for Richard, it was either you take the offer, you become the newest hunter for us, or we basically like ruin your life. So basically, they took this the footage of him talking or whatever, and like altered it to make it seem like he was like intentionally gonna ram it into there and was like, I said I was gonna burn this building down, just as a bad person, right? And so of course they end up doing that because he doesn't want to be the next hunter. And so basically they're autopiloting the plane into the building, but they shoot off a missile to make it seem like they're trying to like stop Richards and save everyone or whatever, right? And so the missile does hit the plane, but it's revealed later after a short kind of like gag scene, I guess. Not saying like it was bad or anything. I'm just saying it's kind of what it was. He basically jumps out of the plane, like I think like in an airlock or something, and he survives. And we learn that in the movie, at the end of the movie. And basically, the ending of the movie is basically Killian, the dude who runs the Running Man show. Um, he's doing a new season or whatever, and his what's his name? Is it TJ? I swear I don't know why I'm forgetting. The host basically quits like on the spot because basically our boy Richard has caused like a scene and everyone's rooting for him, especially throughout like the second half of the movie, it's like Richard's live, it's all cool, right? But he leaves, he's like, you think you could just leave on me, I run this, and he's like, it basically just tells him, he's like, on page 42 of my contract in all small writing, it says fuck you, and walks off. I can't remember the actor's name, but I remember seeing him as, I think he was Bass Reeves in the Lawman Bass Reeves show. That's a good show, you guys should go watch that. Phenomenal actor in my opinion. He did really good as the role. Basically, so Richard's still alive. He goes to see his wife, pays for her groceries, whatever, and does his little signature heart tap that he did in the beginning of the movie, and goes back to the studio. It's so cool. Like the ending was cool, in my opinion. So he basically walks onto the stage, or well, shit starts going haywire. Like they start throwing mocktails and shit, and all types of shit like that. Like I guess the supporters of Richards, right, or whatever. And Killian's kind of moving through the backstage and trips over these wires and is in the front of the stage. And Richards comes in and he's like looking at him, or he's walking up, and I think he throws a mocktail as well. He busts through like the screen or whatever, and he pulls out a gun and points it at him and counts down to the airing of the show. You're like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then it says action and boom, puts one right in his dome, and then movie ends, right? So I thought that was really cool, and I really did like that ending, in my opinion. But that was basically the ending of the 2025 adaptation, and of course you can see that's a pretty huge contrast from the book ending. And of course, if for people who read the book and did enjoy it and wanted to see a one-on-one adaptation of The Running Man, obviously you can see why they probably didn't like the movie very much. Obviously, there were other things that, people didn't like about the movie that I saw, but that was pretty much the main thing. Because when I did a little research before I saw the movie, basically all I saw over the internet was like, oh, how the ending of the dude who did the movie, how the ending of so-and-so's Running Man changes Stephen King's, like, ending or whatever, or like ruins it. And I wouldn't say it ruined it. I would just say it's just, I don't know. In my opinion, thinking of it as like, what's the word I'm looking for? Thinking of it as like I guess like an alternate ending. You know how in games, like, you can like play through the whole game again, like, however many times. Let's say like there's 5 endings, right? So the first ending is the good ending, good, bad, or whatever. Like, think of it as like that, right? That's how I kind of interpret it. Now, with knowing, how the book ends or whatever. Thinking it was kind of like that. Like, I mean, I now, like I said, or not like I said, I didn't say it, but I'm saying it now. I didn't read the Running Man book, so I don't really know how the book transpires, over the course of reading it compared to like the 2025 adaptation. But from what I'm seeing, I think it pretty much is like kind of laid out almost the same, and every like the themes and stuff are kind of almost pretty much the same, because all I've ever seen over the internet. It's just about the ending, pretty much, and how people didn't like it and stuff like that. I mean, to each their own. You don't have to like the ending, right? I thought it was cool. I'm glad my boy got my revenge. I know my mom loved it because she hates bad endings. You should have seen it when we watched The Long Walk. She was not happy. But yeah, like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you let an ending, I mean, I shouldn't say that, because endings really do make movies for you. Like, you can enjoy the movie like 100% all the way, and then the ending just comes and just like that just ruins the entire movie for you, because then when you rewatch it, you know how it's going to end. It's some shitty bullcrap way, or however you feel about the ending, right? But I don't know, just some of the way people were talking about it online, it's like, you let the ending ruin it that bad for you. And I mean, I guess I can't really speak either, because I mean, well, like I said, I didn't read the book, but I know how it ends though, and so I can definitely see if you were at the Long Walk, and at the Long Walk, The Running Man, I can see why it would upset you so much. But even then, with saying that, I didn't even see a lot of like, I didn't see a lot of reviews even like upset really that they changed the ending just so much. It was just so much of like how they changed it, like what they did to change it. Like I'm pretty sure if he still died and if it was like something else or whatever, then I mean they probably still would have been fine with it. But I mean I wouldn't say it ruins it. I mean I still feel like it's almost full circle. I mean like I don't know, like I liked it. I mean I liked him, vowing, keeping his promise, like I know I'm gonna come back and burn this fucker down, and that's exactly what he did, right? I mean I don't know. That's just my personal opinion, and like I said, I can see why. If you like the ending of the book and you really like the book or whatever, I can see why the ending of the 2025 adaptation doesn't really sit well with you. I get it. Trust. I've had those moments too with movies and whatever, but that was just me coming on here. I don't know, just kind of giving my little thought or whatever about how I felt about the movie. But yeah, man, I liked the movie for what it was. I thought it was really funny, really good. Probably one of my favorite movies of this year. Not gonna lie. I'm going to say, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm talking about like this movie was like a shit show or something. Like I'm having to say like, what I'm looking for or hot take or whatever, but I wouldn't even say it's a hot take. It's really not, You like the movie, you don't, to each their own. Let's all be friends, right? Let's all get along. But with all that being said, yeah, I liked it. I think you guys should go see it. And yeah. Another YouTube video from me. Peace.